You think you're free because you can do whatever you want, because no one tells you what to eat, who to love, where to go, what to feel. You confuse freedom with permission. You confuse liberty with indulgence. You think that following your impulses means you are in control. But Immanuel Kant would say otherwise. He would say you're not free at all. He would say you are a slave, not to chains, not to tyrants, but to your own desire. Because to Kant, freedom is not the absence of restraint. Freedom is the presence of self-mastery, and a man ruled by impulse, by lust, greed, anger, appetite, is not free. He is possessed by himself, by the part of him that refuses to obey anything higher than pleasure. And that part, left ungoverned, does not liberate you. It owns you. You see, Kant didn't believe in freedom as a feeling. He believed in it as a principle. He knew that real autonomy begins when the will governs the flesh, when reason overrules instinct, when the self obeys law, not the law of governments, not the law of moods, but the moral law within. He called it the categorical imperative. Act only according to that maxim which you could will to become a universal law. In simpler terms, act as if the world were watching. Act as if your choices shape reality. Because they do. And if you can't universalize your behavior, if it would lead to chaos if everyone did what you're doing, then you're not acting freely. You're acting selfishly. And selfishness, Kant said, is not freedom. It's dependence. Dependence on gratification, on emotion, on the unstable tides of circumstance. Most people live this way. They chase the next hit of pleasure and call it freedom. They abandon principle in the name of following their heart. But a heart untethered to reason is a storm. It blows wherever it wants. It destroys what it touches. And it leaves a man wondering why, despite doing everything he wanted, he still feels empty. That emptiness is not random. It's the result of a life lived in slavery to feeling. To Kant, the greatest tragedy was not external oppression. It was internal chaos. The man who cannot say no to himself is not a man. He is a machine running on reaction, predictable, weak, unfit for freedom. So ask yourself, what rules you? Your phone? Your hunger? Your need to be seen? Your longing to be loved? Can you go a day without giving in to the urge? Can you say no when everything in you screams yes? Because that's the test. Not whether you can act, but whether you can abstain. Whether you can choose against yourself. The animal eats when it's hungry, mates when it's aroused, sleeps when it's tired. But you are not an animal. You are something higher, if you choose to be. And that choice is what defines your freedom. Not the absence of boundaries, but the ability to place them yourself and hold them. Kant saw this clearly. He knew that desire lies, that it whispers in your ear that this time will be different. That indulgence is liberation. But every indulgence without restraint tightens the chain. You become more reactive, more addicted, more restless, and eventually you lose the capacity for reason altogether. You become a puppet pulled by invisible strings. Strings you tied around your own neck. And then you wonder why your life lacks peace, why your relationships fall apart, why your ambition dissolves into distraction. It's because desire does not care about your future. It only wants the now. It doesn't plan. It consumes. And when it's done, it leaves you weaker than before. But Kant didn't just diagnose the problem. He offered the solution. He taught that man is capable of becoming more than instinct, by obeying reason, by aligning with duty, by honoring the moral law, not because it feels good, but because it is good. That is freedom. To do what is right even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. To choose principle over pleasure. To tell the truth even when lying would benefit you. To act from a place of integrity rather than outcome. This is what he called autonomy. Not living without rules, but living by rules you give yourself through reason. And when you act from that place, you are no longer ruled. Not by others, not by fear, not even by your own chaos. You become sovereign, moral, free. But we live in an age that mocks this idea. That tells you freedom is doing what you feel. That urges you to chase every impulse and silence every voice that says no. Self-restraint is called repression. Discipline is called control. Morality is called judgment. And so we have a world full of people who feel powerful because they can choose, but who are too weak to choose anything that costs them comfort. A world of people who think they're awake, but are sleepwalking through life, guided by algorithms, cravings, validation loops. That is not freedom. That is slavery dressed in dopamine. And Kant would tell you, wake up. Because if you continue to live this way, your life will not be your own. It will belong to whatever desire screams the loudest. And that is a kind of prison no tyrant could ever enforce. The man who cannot master himself will always be ruled by money, by sex, by opinion, by fear. And even if no one controls him from the outside, he is still a prisoner on the inside. His emotions control him. His impulses own him. His guilt eats him. His confusion blinds him. And he calls it freedom. But Kant would laugh, not out of mockery, but out of sorrow, because that man has mistaken indulgence for sovereignty, and the cost is everything. So what does real freedom look like? It looks like silence when you want to shout, like loyalty when betrayal would be easier, like truth when lying would protect your ego. It looks like delay, like patience, like sacrifice. It looks like a man who can say no, not because he is afraid, but because he is powerful, because he chooses to obey a law deeper than pleasure, a law written not on paper, but on the soul. Kant believed that law exists, that each man, if he listens carefully, can hear it. That moral clarity is not relative, it is universal. And that freedom is found not in doing what you want, but in doing what is right, even when no one is watching. But most people never reach that level. They stay trapped. Because desire is easier. Because following rules requires self-awareness. And self-awareness reveals pain. The pain of who you've been. The pain of what you've done. The pain of what you must now become. But if you avoid that pain, you avoid freedom. Because freedom is not comfortable. It is earned. Through discipline. Through inner war. Through the daily death of the ego. Kant knew this. He lived it. He wasn't a preacher. He was a philosopher of action. A man who believed that ethics were not abstract, but lived. That every decision is a reflection of who you are, and that the future of your soul depends on how often you choose the harder road. So I ask you again, are you free? Or are you ruled by what you crave? When you are alone, when the world is quiet, when no one is there to see, what do you choose? What do you serve? Because you will serve something. The only question is whether it will enslave you, or whether you will rise above it and command it. That is Kant's challenge. That is Kant's gift. A mirror held to your deepest instincts. A call to war against the part of you that would rather feel good than do good. He was not here to comfort you. He was here to awaken you. And now, the choice is yours. Obey the voice of desire and remain a slave, or rise into the harsh, clear light of reason and become free. Let your life answer that question.